Good morning, students of class 10. You are welcome back to the e-classes now. Let's continue our lesson in English. The glimpses of India from the textbook, lesson 7. Now we have reached the third part and that to the last. We have reached the last portion. So now here, tea from Assam. So that's the third part and we have reached new sprouted leaves. So as we have already learned, Razveer, a boy from Delhi, he went to visit his friend's house, Assam. He wanted to spend the holidays there as he was invited by Pranjal, a boy from Assam. Pranjal, he used to study in Delhi and he had a friend named Razveer and he invited Razveer to spend the holidays with his family during summer vacation. So now here, and since Razveer reached Assam, he had seen tea bushes all around. He had read them. He had read about tea in the books, in his books. But he had never seen this type of sight in his life with his own eyes. Now let's see what Razveer saw there. Razveer saw acre upon acre. As far as his eyes could see, he saw acre upon acre of tea bushes, green tea bushes that spread over the slopes of the hill and in the plains. They were all around. They were all around. He could see the tea bushes all around. Pruned means cut. Pruned to the same height. All the tea bushes were of the same height. They were pruned properly and they were of the same height. Number 2, groups of tea pluckers. Tea pluckers means the people or the laborers who pluck tea. Groups of tea pluckers with bamboo basket on their backs. The women, especially the women, they were carrying the bamboo basket at their back. They plucked the tea leaves and put it inside the basket. Pluck the tea leaves and put it inside the basket. So, a group of tea pluckers with bamboo basket on their backs were plucking the tea leaves. The newly sprouted leaves. The newly sprouted, the delicate portion, the buds, you can say that. Newly sprouted leaves they were plucking and they were busy. He saw them working. Number 3, he also saw a tractor pulling a trailer load of leaves. He saw a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves and taking it to the factory. Pulling a trailer load of load of leaves at the Dekhiabari tea estate. The name of the tea estate where Pranjal's father worked as a manager was Dekhiabari, Dekhiabari, Dekhiabari tea estate. That was the tea estate where his father worked as a manager. Pranjal's father, he was a manager of the tea garden and the name of the tea garden was Dekhiabari tea estate. So he saw the tractor taking the trailer load of tea leaves, taking it to the factory for processing. Razveer asked Pranjal's father, because they were going in their van on the way in the tea garden. Razveer asked Pranjal's father, who was driving the car, if that was the second flush. Second flush means second sprouting. Second flush of sprouting period. He asked Pranjal's father, is it the second sprouting of tea leaves that lasts from May to July and produces or yields the best tea? The second sprout of tea leaves will produce the best tea. So he asked Pranjal's father, and Pranjal's father looked at him, and he was driving a car. He looked at him and he was surprised. Such detailed information, detailed information surprised Pranjal's father. A boy from Delhi, he knew everything about tea. He said that the second sprouting of tea leaves will produce or yields the best tea. How did he knew? How did he know about this? And he also said, Rajbir also said that it lasts from May to June. So Pranjal's father, naturally, he was surprised. A boy from Delhi, how he knew everything about it. So he was quite surprised. And he said, Pranjal's father said, he seemed to have done his homework. He said that it seems that you have done your homework properly before you come over here. So he said, he seemed to have done his homework before coming here. He means the Rajbir. It's an indirect speech. So he must have done the homework properly before coming over here in Assam. So what did Rajbir say? Rajbir replied that he had learned about the tea. He had learned about the tea from the book. From the book I have learned everything about tea. That's why I asked you about this tea. Is it the second sprouting? Because it is past July. Oh, no, it is the summer vacation, maybe May, June. So that's why he said this must be the second flush of sprouting, newly sprouted leaves that produces the best tea. So Pranjal's father replied, yes, this is the second sprouting. The first sprouting of new leaves will start from April to March. March and April. That's 2 months. From March and April, the first sprouting of leaves, first flush of tea leaves will be plucked, and from May to June, the second sprouting of the leaves will be plucked. And this will be the best tea. This produces the best tea. So Pranjal's father replied him, and even Rajbir also said that he had learned about the tea, about everything about the tea from his books. So that was the end of the chapter. It's not very difficult. So you can see that there are 6 points. This is the end of the chapter, you can say. In our next class, we'll do, to be continued, our English class. Madam rides a bus. It's about a young girl. He wanted to ride a bus, and he was too excited to ride inside the bus for the first time. So how she manages to ride a bus alone without anybody's help, and it was a secret. She didn't said or told anyone about her desire and how she managed to ride a bus. So it's about a young girl. Madam rides a bus. That will be lesson 9. So we will be doing this from our next class. So that's all for today. So we'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson. Lesson number 9. Madam rides a bus. So the glimpses of India, we have already learned the third part. The first part was the baker from Goa. Second part was the Korg, about the descents of the Korgi people, and the third one is tea from Assam. So these are the 3 parts we have already learned. Now you go through the book at home also properly. You go through the online portal and try to understand. It's not very difficult. So the next one, the Madam rides a bus, we'll do in the next class. Thank you for your presence and your attention. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you very much for today.